I've worked with many sound recordists around the world, but none have been as interesting as Anandar here in India. He's been an extraordinary guy to work with. He has such a passion for the quality of the recorded sound and understands that, you know, sound isn't just about the lines that an actor says. It's not just about what's happening in the background, but it's also the feeling that a scene can evoke through sound. I think that many times we forget as directors and cinematographers and such that sound is really 70% of the experience. You know, I think an audience will forgive things if it's not technically exactly like it should be when they're watching on the screen, but when they listen to it, if it doesn't ring true, if it's something that they don't, if they don't believe that place, or if they don't believe that setting audibly, then they don't believe what's on the screen. So I think that both of those aspects are so intermingled, and it's important not to ever rush that experience. You want to make sure you get the audio right. You want to make sure that you get the pieces of that audio right. So if I'm in a small village, what are the sounds of those villagers? You need to know that. And I think that working here with him in India, I have really been able to accomplish that and capture those moments that we may not have been able to capture otherwise. I think here in some ways that recording audio is more complicated than it is in other places. And that's not to say that it's a cakewalk to record audio anywhere in the world, but I think here in India especially, and particularly on this project, you know, we've filmed in some remote villages where people don't have electricity or television. So when a camera crew comes in, and when we bring in actors and recorders and cameras and, you know, hundreds of people, you have a lot of people that want to watch, and you can't really control those crowds. It's something that I've never experienced before in my life because I'm used to, you know, if I'm filming something, we have the set blocked off and that's that. But here you have to kind of navigate that when you're shooting in specific locations. And I think that here the job of the recordist is definitely more challenging because you have to figure out how to isolate the audio in places that it's very difficult to isolate. So I think here it's more of a challenge and requires someone that can meet those challenges. There are very few sound recordists I have worked with that are as passionate and as gifted as Anandar is. He has been spectacular throughout the filming process. Anytime I have a question about something related to audio, Anandar has a succinct and very specific answer. He always knows exactly what we need to do, and that doesn't just pertain to the recording of the actors' performances, but also to the ambient sound around us. When you're filming in India, especially in remote villages, there are lots of people that come out to watch, sometimes hundreds at a time, and Anandar knows exactly what to do with not just the actors, but also how to capture those sounds and how to make something that's unique in sound design so that we can actually create that feeling of what that village is like for an audience. It's one thing to show something visually, but it's totally something else to do it audibly, and it actually teleports that audience to that place when they can hear it and not just see it. And I think Anandar does an excellent job of doing that. So I can't wait to work with him again in the future.